Mrs. Uditsky, this is your grandson.
Yes. Was.
Well, he still is. Your grandson.
Yeah.
You may be angry at him.
Very.
I assume so. If you filed a lawsuit against him, I assume he's done things to make you very angry.
Yeah.
But your lawsuit complains of really two things. The first thing is that you made a loan to him so he could buy a motorcycle. Is that right?
No. It was put on my credit card.
Did you go with him to the store to buy the motorcycle?
I went with him to the store.
How did that come about that you went with him to the store, Mrs. Uditsky?
Because he was crying to me that he had no way of getting to work. He had the girl that he lives with, plus he's got 2 babies. And I felt sorry for the babies because half the time they weren't eating. There was no food.
Were you living with him at the time?
At that time, I had come from San Jose because I was so cold up there that I was staying there. And it wasn't going to be a permanent thing. It was just going to be temporary. I was staying with them at that time. Mandy just turned 4, and Cameron just turned 2.
These are your 2 children, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
And how old are your children now?
They're
4 and 2.
Are you married to their mother?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Good question.
Well, I know it's a good question. That's why I asked you. Why aren't you married to their mother?
Just hasn't got around to it yet.
So
Financial reasons.
But you live together.
Yes, we do.
She collect welfare?
No.
The children collect welfare?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Any support from the state?
No. None whatsoever.
So why don't you get married?
Financial reasons.
What financial reason? What's the difference if you're living I'm just curious. Miss Uditsky, just give me a moment, please. I'm always trying to get information. See what this world is like now.
Because we've decided not to yet, Your Honor.
Why? You
we
made
just
2
decided.
babies.
You can have 2 babies and not be married.
Sure.
Okay.
Everybody does that these days.
All right.
That doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it right. We have not decided to get married.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now, I don't do any work. I watch my kids all day.
And your girlfriend?
She is a
Where does she work now?
nail money,
What kind of work does she do?
accounts receivable on a computer.
Uh-huh. And who supports the family?
Well, I do part ways, like through bowling tournaments, and she does through working.
You do bowling tournaments?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
I'm a bowler.
Do bowling tournaments. Ms. Uditsky, I'm not going to get to the jewelry yet because you also say that you believe that your grandson stole jewelry from you.
He
I'm
did.
gonna-
It was jewelry from my husband that my husband bought me. I have proof. My daughter's here. She will tell you the jewelry that my husband bought for me. And I swore up and down that if this ring had disappeared, he would be dead and I would be in jail. Because this is the last thing that my husband gave me. Now, they made their bar mitzvah together. Him at 13, my husband at 70. They had a 3-day affair. My husband's 2 wishes in life were to make a bar mitzvah, which he couldn't make when he was younger, and to go to homeland. After the bar mitzvah, I sent them to Israel, 15 days.
You mean your husband and your grandson?
Right. I couldn't go because I'm handicapped. I sent them there for 15 days. The first thing out of my husband's mouth when he come home is, Mama, now if God wants me, he can have me. He says, I've gotten the wishes I wanted. That was all of 1985. December 1st, 1985, my husband passed away. This is the last ring, and my husband bought me loads of gold. She'll tell you. He was always buying me beautiful things. 48 years. I love that man. There's another man in the world for me.
What makes you think that
This boy stayed in my bedroom when I had my hip broken in the house there from the dog, when the dog pushed me, and I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I have a metal plate with 4 metal bolts here. He stayed in my bedroom. He stole the money from me, from in my drawers, from my purse. She'll attest to what was missing. She knows that he slept in my room. and that he had everything available. I never hid money. I had always kept money in the house because the babies would come and they'd say, Bubby, we're hungry. Bubby, I'm hungry. Make me something, Bubby.
Would you step up here?
So
Tell me your last name.
Capricorn.
It's Capricorn. You're his mother?
Yes, sir.
He has stolen from her. He
Has
has stolen from everybody.
Has your son been in trouble during his teenage years?
Yes.
She would have to attest to it because when he was a baby, I was having problems of my own, and my mother and father took custody of him, and he didn't start staying with me until he was 16. But her and my father had taken care of him until then.
Okay. Let me tell you what this is. Your grandmother is so angry and hurt at you, which is why I've let her tell me this story, because she just had to get it out. Because it sounds to me as if she took on the responsibility of raising you for 16 years almost.
Correct.
It was probably something that she didn't bargain for, that she didn't necessarily relish, but it was an obligation that she and your grandfather took over when your mother wasn't in a position to take care of you, for whatever reasons. We don't have to go into that. And what she's saying is you haven't done the right thing to her, for her. You know, parents have the responsibility of raising their children, not grandparents. When grandparents have to raise their children, it's usually because their children screw up. And it's usually at a time when they have looked forward all of their lives to some peace. When you're 75 years old, you sort of figure you've paid your dues. You got it?
I understand.
Good. Now, why didn't you give her back the money for the motorcycle?
It was, under my understanding, it was a birthday present.
Well, what makes you think it was a birthday present, Mr. Union?
I was looking through a motorcycle magazine. I said I was going to have my friend AJ pick me up and go look at a motorcycle. I called AJ up and she said, well, why don't you have AJ take me and I'll put it on my card and this will be your early birthday present. It was just before my birthday.
What birthday?
Just in September, my 25th birthday. That way I can go to work and back and whatnot. That's it.
So then let me ask you this question, Mr. Union. Why do you think that if that's the case, your grandmother is suing you for this money? Why? She's got all of her marbles. I'm telling you that right now. If it was
That's not true, Your Honor.
What's not true?
That's not true.
That she has all the marbles?
No,
oh,
that's
yes.
not true at all.
Oh,
Okay,
yes, it's true.
After my grandmother had an operation, me and my girlfriend were smoking marijuana in the hospital room.
You were?
She was, no. The doctors had given her Demerol and caused her to lose her mind,
Oh, yeah.
basically.
You mean forever?
No, not forever. I'm not saying forever. I mean, just caused her to just not be at one state of mind, at a state of mind.
Yeah, well, that happens when you're taking Demerol,
right.
sir. When you're given Demerol, sometimes you have fantasy and things aren't reality.
That's correct.
But when she took you down with her credit card, sir, she wasn't on Demerol.
I understand that.
Now, why do you think, Mr. Union, that your grandmother, who raised you, who cleaned your diapers, who cleaned up after you when you got stomach aches in the middle of the night, who helped you with your homework, who paid for you to go to Israel with your grandfather when you were 13, who nurtured you, why do you think that now your grandmother is standing there suing you for something that was a gift? You explain that to me.
I can't explain that. Because
Neither can I. It doesn't make sense, does it? Now let's get to the jewelry.
I know nothing about jewelry.
Now.
I don't even know what jewelry she's talking about.
Mrs. Uditsky.
That's enough.
I don't know what kind of problems he has. I assume that you will tell me that he had access to your mother's room and stayed in your mother's room when she was in the hospital. Is that right?
Yes.
So he certainly had the opportunity to take property from her room. And I don't know whether he had the inclination, but he had the opportunity. But he was not the only person in that house, right?
Right.
Who else was in the house?
His girlfriend,
Her and two babies.
two babies, and then Diane's father.
He worked all day.
So that, well, it doesn't take long to go into a room. Mrs. Udetsky, the problem is with regard to the jewelry that you got from your husband, whatever amount of money that I could award you, even if I were satisfied that you had been able to prove that he took it, would not compensate for the articles of jewelry themselves. Because what you're really saying is those are things that were precious to you.
Very precious.
But in a court, you have to be able to prove to me that he took it. Now, there's no question in my mind that he's a liar. There's no question in my mind that he's a liar.
Thank you.
That you put this motorcycle on your credit card because he asked you to do that.
This is the bill from it.
Because he asked you to do that, and he needed transportation. And this baloney story about it being a gift because you were on Demerol is just that you're losing your mind. Was clearly not the case. You are angry at him and hurt, but clearly you have all your mental faculties about you. But you still have to prove to me that he took your jewelry.
He did take my jewelry.
I know you say he did. He says he didn't. He probably did. What items of jewelry are missing, Mrs. Udetsky?
I have a charm that had rubies. I have a Star of David ring. It's like the other ring. This other one was my great-grandmother's ring, and it was passed down to me. So this one I had restored, but I had a ring same like this, only with the Star of David in there. Everything that my husband bought me, other than the chains, were all religious articles. I converted to Judaism. I was not born a Jew. I converted 48 years ago, and I have lived that life.
How many grandchildren do you have?
I don't have any. I'm through. I have a daughter here, and I have
one
a daughter
child?
in San Jose.
Does your daughter in San Jose have any children?
Yes, she does. Right to her right.
She has children, but she is my stepdaughter.
Okay.
That was my husband's daughter.
Do you have any other biological children other than this daughter here?
She's adopted.
She's your daughter?
She's my daughter. Granddaughter. Yes.
Excuse me, Your Honor, that's her
it.
granddaughter. My Aunt Sandra is her mother.
Just to make a long story short, okay?
This is
Sandra-
the reason why she's mad at me.
Sandra, who I was always, when I was younger, thought she was my sister, in reality is my mother. I found this out when I was 16 years old, and I've known for many, many, many years. My mother had made a promise to her that, as far as anybody's concerned, I was her daughter, that's it. So, for all purposes, she's still my sister, and to this day, I still consider her as my sister.
But she is, in fact, your biological mother.
Right.
I had made the promise because my daughter was got into trouble, having a child out of wedlock, was going to give it up for adoption. My husband and I says, no, this is family. No, we will adopt her. We got a lawyer, and when the baby was born,
That's her.
it was her. When baby was born, we took her home from the hospital, and we've raised her all her life that we could.
What had happened?
She
What had happened was when they were bringing her from San Jose, Diane was riding with her, and my mom told Diane I was Sandra's daughter. Okay, and she made a promise to her not to say anything.
I thought
Well,
she'd keep her word to God. That's all.
I didn't say anything to him until after I found out that you told her the truth, and he was the only one that didn't know.
But I
didn't
knew.
know.
She did know because she came to the house the day that I told him.
Your Honor,
Just a second.
I had told David a long
This is
time
the
ago.
reason why everyone's mad at she's mad at me because
She's
I
mad at
found
me
out.
because I told him the truth.
This is the whole reason why. This was a birthday present. I stole no jewelry.
So let me ask you this, sir. Why do you think she's angry at you?
I couldn't tell you.
No, but it's
She's
not
angry
like,
at me, Your Honor.
that has nothing to do with him. No, that has nothing to do with him.
Because all she cares about now is money. That's all she cares about. Okay, the motorcycle was $2,000. She's trying to sue me for $4,000 now.
She says that she took jewelry
I
from
didn't
her.
take any jewelry. Okay, 10
And
years.
money.
10 years
Judge.
ago. 10 years ago, my mother borrowed money from her, and and she made her sign an agreement that this is a loan.
10
She
years
didn't.
ago?
She did not pay her. She took her to small claims court and won. If this was a loan, she would have made me sign something. This was not a loan. This was a birthday present.
Your Honor,
That's what it was.
that is a lie.
I did not
because
sign anything.
I took him to pick up the motorcycle. I asked him where he got the money for it because I knew he didn't have any. He told me he got a loan. This is what he told
Not
me
true.
in the car.
He didn't tell you from whom?
No, he told me in the car on the way, and I knew who he had got the how he got the motorcycle was from her.
What did we get him for his birthday?
For his
together?
birthday, we got him a bowling ball and to enter him into a bowling contest. This is what he was given for his birthday present in September.
Sounds to me that whether Mrs. Uditsky is your grandmother or your great-grandmother,
That's not an issue. You're right. It's not an issue.
it's not an issue.
The issue was that this was a birthday present. This was
Baloney!
no loan.
Baloney! It was no birthday present, sir. It was no birthday present.
Were you there?
I get 1,000.
Big mistake. No, but let me tell you something. Common sense and this story suggests to me, and I've said it to you once before, I'm going to say it to you again because I have a feeling that you got something else in between your ears other than what God should have given you.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing in
There's
between
nothing.
your ears. You're absolutely
There's
right,
nothing
sir.
at all.
Nothing. And you, madam, you want to work? That's terrific. You don't want strangers to take care of your babies? That's too bad. You got babies to support, you got to work. And this guy over here has now a $5,000 judgment to pay off, so he better get a job. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Her sister was actually her mother. Now, they are in court over a motorcycle, gift or loan. Judge Judy Ray pay $5,000.